Senator Sandy Pappas, Chair of the Capital Investment Committee. Since last August, hundreds of cities, counties, colleges, and state agencies have shared their project proposals with my committee, either here at the Capitol or on a site visit, because we travel all over the state of Minnesota. All told, there were over $7 billion in requests for state bonding help. These project proposals represent towns without clean drinking water, crumbling and inaccessible state parks and trails, leaking roofs, crucial development projects, and much more. We need to pass a substantial bonding bill to meet even a fraction of what Minnesotans need. We need to invest in repairs at our state colleges and universities so that students don't have to sit in cold classrooms with cracking walls and leaking roofs while they train to become our next nurses, engineers, and teachers. We need to help small towns that have the potential to grow but can't build housing because they don't have enough sewer capacity. We must live up to the legislature's responsibility to maintain the infrastructure that keeps our state running. That's why I'm pushing for a $1.4 billion bonding package. The legislature needs to take serious steps toward meeting our local communities, local universities, and state agency needs. And the longer we delay funding these projects, the more expensive they become. Okay, so I'm encouraged by bipartisan negotiations that are going on in the House, and Senator Housley and I are making some progress. But I'm concerned we're not moving quickly enough. There's only, 2.5 weeks left to this session, and we can't fall back on a special session like we did last year. There's not going to be a special session, mark my word. Now, I've never liked that bonding bills are treated like an afterthought at the 11th hour, often not passing until the last day of session. These critical infrastructure projects are concrete investments in our state economy, and the folks we represent all over Minnesota are counting on us. So I'm really hoping for a green vote on a bonding bill, and it should be easy. Let's make sure we get it done. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Anthony.
Good morning. My name is Anthony Wilkie. I oversee government affairs for sheet metal, air, rail, and transportation workers, Local 10. Smart Local 10 employs roughly 5,000 HVAC, architectural, and industrial specialists in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. I'd like to thank the senators here today for their ongoing commitment supporting our state's working men and women. Our members take great pride in building the cities and communities that we live in. Bonding dollars support what we call work hours. These work hours ensure that our members and their families maintain comfortable living and build structures that will hopefully outlast our grandchildren's children. While our industry has a robust presence in the private sector, and we appreciate those partnerships as well, public bonding projects play a meaningful role in employing our members and ensuring that skilled, trained workers are building our state's infrastructure. I'd like to highlight one bonding bill success story that our members take great pride in. Fraser Hall at the University of Minnesota trains the future chemists of our state. This historic building recently received asset preservation funding to renovate and expand. This project put roughly 200 of our members to work, from the HVAC systems in the laboratories to the custom copper on the facade. The project required and employed well-trained mechanics and custom metal shop specialists. It serves as a shining example of the partnership between bonding and vertical construction that highlights our members' commitment to building community assets. On behalf of Smart Local 10's leadership, membership, and our associated contractors, I'd like to thank you for your time and your commitment to the senators and to the people of Minnesota to building the communities we love. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Senator Nick Frentz from the great city of North Mankato, Assistant Majority Leader, and here to tell you why it's important for us to get a bonding bill passed from the greater Minnesota perspective. First of all, the reasons you've already heard. These projects do not get less expensive. These are tax dollars being used to repay these bonds. The longer we wait, the more those tax dollars are going to come out of people's pocket for no good reason. We must pass a bonding bill this session. Second, the jobs. Anthony represents 5,000, but there are over 100,000 members of the Minnesota building trades who depend on us to pass these projects to keep them employed. This is where carpenters, sheet metal workers, all the working men and women go to find employment. It's measured not in years, but in hours. That's important to our local economies, as those dollars are often spent locally. Finally, water projects. Just in my district alone, one of 67 Senate districts, there are 3 critical water infrastructure projects. Those projects are necessary not only for public health. One of my communities has manganese in the water. In that community of about 2,400, it's not funny that the state has taken its time to get bonding project dollars. But in addition to the public health, it's a ratepayer issue. Do you know what happens to a community of 2,500 if they have to build their own $14 million water treatment facility? The water rates for that community skyrocket at a time when we're told by Minnesotans that affordability is a primary focus for them. How can we tell those communities, sorry, we'll get it next year, or go build your own? Finally, happy to hear from Senator Pappas at a $1.4 billion bonding request. We have to think big if we want our state to prosper. And as with all the bonding bills we passed, it's not just what it costs, it's what it pays. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to my beloved colleague, Senator Ann Johnson Stewart.
Thank you, Senator Frentz. I'm State Senator Ann Johnson Stewart. I represent the cities around Lake Minnetonka, and Senator Frentz just reminded me that I too have a community. Minnetonka Beach has already spent millions of their own dollars on their water treatment plant because they have PFAS. Every ratepayer in Minnetonka Beach pays $600 a month to finance that water treatment plant, and they are high on my list for awarding bonding money. I will be back in this room on Thursday with my fellow civil engineers to unveil our latest report card. I hope to see all of you there, where we will tell you that our infrastructure continues to deteriorate. We must have a bonding bill. We will not catch up, even with the $1.4 billion, which I strongly support. We continue to see the needs of communities grow every year. I just want to speak briefly because I feel I might be one of only maybe one other person up here that's been on a job site for extended periods of time. And I would encourage all of you to make an appointment with me. Let's go out to a construction site this summer and see what local bonding dollars do for the community. It's not just jobs at the union level, which of course we are very highly in support of, but it is jobs in the whole community. When a dollar goes to a local community for a bonding project, that dollar is spent for labor, but it's also spent for curb and gutter and aggregate and sheet metal. We have Buy America clauses so that all of that money stays mostly in Minnesota, but for sure in America. It also supports the hundreds of Slurpees that are bought at local quick trips, the nights in hotels, the gallons of gas, and every one of those dollars spent at the local convenience store is money into local communities. So of the $1.4 billion, nearly every one of those dollars goes back into our local communities, whether in terms of labor or in other supplies. And I am so encouraged by what we've done so far with bonding dollars. I'm encouraged by the help of my colleagues and our union supporters. We cannot let this opportunity pass for so many reasons. $1.4 billion is it's a reasonable goal. We'll be back on Thursday talking about all the good that will do to upgrade our infrastructure. But in terms of infusion of money into our local economy for so many reasons, we must pass a bonding bill. And I am encouraged by the support of our Republican colleagues as well. But I also want you to come out with me onto a job site. I don't care what kind of job it is, a building, a sewer, a road, and I will show you where that money is spent. And we got to have a bonding bill this year. We got to have a bonding bill every year. That's my opinion. Now I'll hand it over to Leader Murphy.
Thank you to all of my colleagues, and perhaps the theme of today in our color scheme is about the Slurpee. It's not. It is not. I'm Erin Murphy. I am the proud majority leader in the Minnesota Senate, and I'm grateful to stand with my colleagues today to talk about our infrastructure bill at $1.4 billion. I think it's very obvious that we need to do this year, and I'm feeling a lot of support across the caucuses and a lot of interest in this that gives me a lot of hope for the completion of this proposal when we finish up on the 18th of May. 2 points I want to make. One, we have worked long and hard to maintain our AAA bond rating. That means we can borrow at a lower rate. That's a good deal for Minnesotans, and it means lenders are looking at us because they know we pay our bills. We're a trusted partner when it comes to bonding. The other thing that is important to note right now is because of what we experienced in December, and January, and February, affectionately called or known as Metro Surge, there are many, many lost jobs, 4,000 construction jobs lost from the state during that period of time. For that reason, it is more important than ever that we pass this infrastructure bill. It's crucial. This year, it's crucial for the state of Minnesota, as my colleagues have already shared, and I'm hopeful that we will do the work that we need to advance this proposal and get it done for the people of Minnesota. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
Madam Leader, the old adage is if you're talking to us, things aren't going well behind the scenes. And you said you're hopeful. Are you hopeful? Are things really going that well?
Yeah, I am hopeful, Mary LaHammer, and I think it is important for us to communicate with Minnesotans that we're making good progress, but we are talking together. Both the chairs of our four chairs are talking together, the leaders are talking together, and I think we're going to have a conversation this afternoon with the governor about this proposal. So yes, I am very hopeful. There's a lot of emphasis on getting this done.
Can I follow up with Chair Pappas? Can you talk about the timeline for decades? We've talked about the timeline back to when you were Senate President. You know a lot about timelines. Is time starting to run out really soon here?
I have to admit, Mary, that I'm kind of nervous. With only 2.5 weeks left and all the bills that have to go to the revisor's office, I would just prefer that we could get together and agree on things that we can agree on while the leaders debate and discuss what the overall bonding bill should be. And there's always a little resistance to do that, and I just get kind of personally frustrated because I just really want to get the job done.
How far apart are you with Senator Housley, dollar-wise?
I don't know that yet. Senator Housley and I are having our first meeting today.
And is that behind schedule? Sorry, first meeting right now with your Republican lead. Does that feel late too?
It feels like a little slow.
This is always part of your global negotiations, Leader Murphy. So I wonder, like, how much between the two of you have to kind of work out how much you can give and how much, like, which projects you have to pick and what the timeline is, you know, when it's crunched.
The one thing that is different this year is that we have to pay for the debt service. We have to be able to acknowledge what the debt service is, and it's got to be a part of our budget. So there are steps in order here, but I understand that the House is working through proposals at different levels right now to understand where they can land together, and we, with Senator Pappas and Senator Housley, are also doing that work. So I do think the work is underway. I would love it if we did a no-drama capital investment bill and got it done this year. It'd be great.
Do you have a number, a target yet?
We don't, but we will. We have not set targets yet for any of the committee areas because the bills are just coming off the floor. But we are starting those negotiations now, and we will have a target.
And then Senator Pappas, when you get a target, how long do you need to finalize a deal?
Then we just meet day and night to kind of finalize the deal. So it's not like no work is going on. A lot of work is going on with staff. You know, Senator Housley is working with staff. I'm working with staff. The House is working with staff. And to make sure, just be prepared. Sometimes we do exercises at different numbers to see exactly what we would do. We make sure that all the projects have their MMB forms in, that we have all the information we need, we have the language. So we do as much preparation as we can while we wait for a target and we wait for the agreement that we can all work together.
I know you said you haven't met with Senator Housley yet, but are there projects that you feel maybe, you know, sort of an overlap between the two caucuses? Are there areas that Republicans and DFLers are both supporting in bonding?
Well, this is certainly a bigger year for earmarks. We didn't do any earmarks last year. So I'm certainly aware from my meetings and my travels what the needs are in rural Minnesota. And, you know, I have my list of earmarks. We all have our lists of earmarks. So that's important to have that so that we can come together and agree on those. And then there's higher ed. I tend to be a bigger supporter, I think, in higher ed because I'm a former higher ed chair, and I just believe in it. And I think the governor came in a little low with higher ed, so I'd like to push that number up for HEAPR and maybe their top project, and hopefully we'll have enough money to do that.
I think something like water treatment might be able to get bipartisan.
Absolutely. I mean, we put a lot of money into Public Facilities Authority, and that money goes out to small communities that really can't afford the high water bills. And then we will do earmarks to help out those who don't qualify for PFA.
Are there any areas maybe you're not so optimistic about Republicans being on board? Maybe take a little bit of negotiating behind closed doors on?
Well, it's hard when some of my members want to do fire stations or police stations, and the Republicans don't really like that. We don't have any cash, so there won't be any nonprofits that get funded. The Republicans didn't really like that in '23. So it mostly will be, really essential. What's essential to a community differs from community to community, and we really need to respect that. A local community may feel that the fire station is more important and they have their water situation under control. So we have to be a little flexible.
Would it be just a capital investment bonding bill this year, no cash bill?
Right, there's no cash. There'll be some cash available in the bonding bill, and that will be specifically probably for security issues.
St. Paul has had big asks for the Grand Casino Arena area before. I'm kind of hearing from the governor that's not possible. I just want to check with you to make sure that's true from your perspective as well.
Well, I personally want to do something for Roy Wilkins. It's 100 years old, and I think that should be the priority. So I'm working on that.
But not 200 million?
Not 200 million.
Apologies if this was already asked, but is there any path for response to HCMC in a volume package, or do you think that will travel in another?
That's traveling separately.
Leader Murphy, you mentioned the House earlier. Does this match up better than some of the other budget and spending and policy bills where you're taking more of an omnibus approach and they are not? Could this be easier because of that? Or is everything linked as usual?
In terms of vehicles, the bonding bill is going to move separately, and of course, we all know that it has to begin in the House, and we will be anxiously awaiting that proposal.
Are you nervous about the House and the ties and the stalls and the stalemate?
So, the tie in the House creates a lot of ambiguity, and I think real challenges for the members of the House. If I'm being honest, it is much more difficult for them to function in what we think of as normal order. And we are doing our job every day in the Minnesota Senate to put forth the proposals that we believe need to be done in a format that allows us to pull the House along with us, if you will. So I think they are doing their best, but their politics are really changed because of the tie. And we have a commitment in the Senate to the people of Minnesota and using the tools that we have to bring those issues forward and get them into a position for negotiation. And that is what we're taking up. That's why we're talking about this today, so that we're ready when the House moves the proposal, which I believe they will, that we're able to get it done.
We've got time for one more question.
How do you feel about the pace of negotiations with leadership right now? I think last week you had mentioned that the conversations have thus far been mainly budget focused, not really issues focused. Do you think that's lagging behind? Are you worried that those discussions haven't really started yet?
I feel good about where we are right now because we've worked really hard in the Senate to get our work done, and we're moving major proposals now through the floor, which gets us in good position and our members in good position to negotiate with the House to reach a conclusion. So I am, I will always be worried about time in this job. It is a part of the everyday existence of being a legislator. But I am really, really happy with the work that the Senate is doing, keeping pace with what we need to do to get done on time and to deliver results for the people of Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.